Okay, so for this module, I think it just really focuses on um, Black women and in particular, and how they just are not getting the rights that they should as individuals, and how society is not um, making their well-being important, and the women's cultural is just being outdated because of their race. And women have come from a lot, and black women black women have um, really tried to push for their own rights, and these women have seen so much stuff that is really unbearable to think about, because um, they were once slaves, but they worked to get out of that and become free. And I think that because of their race, they shouldn't be judged on if they're able to get the job, if they're able to um, get as much pay as white women are, and they aren't satisfied and they want to change, and their talent and that they have should be able to shine for what they want. And um, white power, I think, is really pushing their um, their level of ability to get things how they want, because whites still feel like they're more privileged and they can get what they want because of their skin. And I think it's crazy that black women self definition and self valuation considered how black women might draw upon the key themes as outsiders, and they just think that they're outsiders because of their color and how they are being treated, and they're not able to emerge their thoughts and things they um, because of their color. Um, the feminism um, across the world, I think, right now is really high because of um, a lot of different aspects. But black girls are more likely to be suspended or expelled in the school districts because they're overlooked and understudied. And the article that was about this really presents a good case of how race feminism is um, kind of taking over the world for blacks, and they're framing these African American women because of their race, and there's the identity of who they are, I think, is getting lost in between the lines because of all the bad stuff that they've been having to go through. And the police, I think, need to step out of that little bubble of who who has more rights and stuff, because I think that they're taking into account um, kind of what social media is drawing them to be, and the education for black women today and in the past just has not been how it should. And there's reoccurring instances that black women are um, dying at the hands of the police officers because they're getting pushed out of schools, and the populating of the school districts are becoming too high, and they're the first ones that are having to leave. And the school to prison pipeline is at a high rate because as a is it it is at a greater rate right now because of the attention to move um, that Black Girls Matter. Um, the social media and things that have been out about Black girls and the violation um, because of all of this is just like crazy to read about. I thought it was really interesting throughout the whole module how black females are just experiencing such a different lifestyle than white females are, and even black males are too, because of their race. The I think that the first step to getting this better is just understanding what's actually happening and taking into consideration other people's feelings, and the um, that it is a big thing that we need to do, and the gender limit to readdress all the issues that all black children need to be acknowledged and need to be understood and need to have that right to be able to stand up for who they think they who they are. Like, um, I think that that's a really key thing that students aren't able to do for themselves, and it's just really crazy that blacks are still getting that like shame for their skin, and their identity is just self-worth is just becoming so low right now because of everything that's just been happening in the world. And I think they have as much talent as white people do. They have the humanity and the passion to complete every obstacle that they come across, and I think that we as people need to stand up for all. That's what we're here to do. We're here to stand up for each other. So if people see that in the school districts, then teachers need to make sure that they are looking out for that, because it's still happening in the school districts. Blacks aren't feeling like they're getting that best education that they should, and the groups are just becoming smaller and smaller because blacks aren't feeling like they are loved in the schools. And I think that is just crazy, and that's not how it should be. It should be a safe spot, and it is a very important thing that needs to be discussed throughout the schools and through the school districts. And there are a lot of key themes that are just coming up in this module. It was just the self-definition of who they are, the importance of black women knowing who they are, the historic background that they came from, that they have fought for to be where they are, I think is just crazy. And I think that is just so crazy that the value of everything is just becoming so little for all black women, and they may not be aware of the power that is controlling the everyday experiences in the school districts. And they need to just be aware of that and making sure that all women are worthy of what they are.